should be live. You should be able to hear me. I can't actually see my preview video, but it worked for year 11. So if anyone joins this, and I don't expect there'll be a lot of people watching this live. It's not really something you'll follow along with. I'm just doing it live. So what we want to do is, and everyone in level 3 should be doing this, you need some kind of version control. And that means keeping track of what you're doing. And it's not really just enough, especially for the programmers and the guys doing web stuff, to just save multiple versions. That's not how this works. Instead, what you should be doing is using a repository, an online cloud repository. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this. So you want to type in GitHub Desktop and click on that link, or desktop.github.com. You're going to download for Windows 64-bit. I'm just going to go through the installation process here. I've already downloaded it, so if I go to downloads, here it is. And I'm going to run this. Won't take too long. And you're also going to need to sign up. So if you just go to github.com, I'm going to sign in. But well, actually, if I sign up, you should be able to sign up with actually, you may just be able to sign in using a Google. No, you have to actually create an account. So let's see if I remember my account. Yep, okay. I've got an email with that verification code, so I'll just that. Okay, so I'm signed in, and I can see that I've got something over here called Athletic Sports, which I'm going to ignore. I'm not going to worry about using the online bit. I'm just going to focus on the desktop stuff. So welcome to GitHub Desktop. Sign in to github.com. So it's probably going to send me a code again. Configure Git, yep, that'll do. That's my email, that's okay, continue. You can tick that or untick it, it doesn't really matter. So in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new repository on my hard drive. I'm actually gonna add an existing repository from my hard drive, I think. Let's see. Actually, no, I'll just create a new repository. So this one is gonna be called Godot Game. Description, my assessment task. Okay, I'll initialize it with the README, just ignore that. No license. And the location for it, I'm going to actually pick a location where I've already got a project in this case. So I'm going to pick, let's see, I'll actually do the Blender folder in here, and I'll save some stuff into it. So I'll select that folder there, and I'll click Create Repository. Now currently this has 0 changed files, which if I look in my actual Blender folder here, there are a few things in here. So I'm actually wondering why it hasn't shown anything up. So I'm just going to create a new file. So new text document, and that goes into there. Didn't actually, oh, okay, my mistake. It's made a folder called Godot Game in here with the stuff in there. So let's just go back. I'll go back and we'll go add a local repository, and I'm going to choose my Blender folder, and I'll select that folder. Would you like to create a repository here instead? Yes. I'll call it Blender. And let's see if this works. If it doesn't, I know what to do. Okay, so it has created a repository there. So now what I'll see, one changed file, Godot Game. I'm not sure what that actually means. Here we go. History. All these things here have been added to my repository. They're actually uploaded probably, I think. I can publish this repository to the GitHub, which is fine. But if I go into here and I decide, okay, well, let's say I'm going to change these pillars. So I'll load the pillars, whatever they are, and I'll load them in Blender. I'll make some changes to them, and this will work with the programs as well. I'm just doing it for Blender because most people don't really think of using Blender, using GitHub for version control for 3D modeling. So if I just go into here and I click on one of these vertices and I hit G and I move it a little bit and then I save it. If I go back down to here, you'll see that these pillars have changed. Okay, so it's recognized that these are changed files. Now you don't need to do this every time you change a file. Okay, what you want to do is you want to commit big changes to it. So every time you do something new or something works, you can make a commit. And so I'm going to give a summary of it. Modified pillar model, and give a description here and then commit to master. Now if I need to go back to a previous one, I can use these and go back to them. Current branch, there is a way to go back to them. I'm not 100% sure on that at the moment. I'll revert this commit. So I can go back to that one and it will revert everything back to the way it was here. Okay, so this is really important with your programming stuff. You might add a function, it doesn't work, you ruin your program, you can't figure out how to go back. Well, you can just revert back to one that did work. And you should probably do this, every time you add some new major features to the program, or every time you add new things to your Blender model or to your Django website or whatever it is that you're doing, you can go through here and add these things in. So what this might mean for those of you doing a Django website is that you might be able to work through a tutorial and then you commit the completed tutorial to it, and then you can start modifying that tutorial and making commits. So changes that you've made to that tutorial and build it up as your own thing, and that's entirely fine. You're allowed to build off a base and improve upon that and make something new using an existing base. That's fine, you're able to do that. But I think that most of you, regardless of what you're doing, need to be using this as version control. Okay, you can publish it to online, which means that I'll be able to see it as well. It's not just on your computer, because if you happen to delete everything on your computer or you crash on your computer, then your backups are still only on there. But if I publish this here, I'll just publish that, and it should, you can click keep it private if you want, you could get a backup online. And then if I go to the online GitHub here and I refresh that, you can see I've got this one here. It shows me all the files that are in there. I can just go back and download those ones there, or I can look at previous versions of it. Okay, so this is really, really handy. You need to be using this. It's actually part of the kind of one of the advanced tools for managing a project, and it's pretty easy to use. It's almost like brainless, because most of you are not going to need to really go back a whole lot, but it's there if you do. And so it's just a matter of keeping track of your project, keeping track of the changes and improvements that you made. That's about all I need to go through for that video. It'll work for programming, the website, 3D models, whatever you want. It will take care of it for you, and all you need to do is add a little description down here. So once again, if I grab that, move it, save it, go back to here, it's noticed 3 changed files. What am I going to do? I'm going to make a summary, I'm going to commit it. Of course, I'm not going to commit every single little minuscule change. You don't want to have 10,000 different historical versions. You just want to commit the major ones, enough for you to write, I added this here, tested this, it actually works, it's all good. All right, I'll finish up there, and I'll send this out and make sure that everyone knows about it.